Yeah, speed is really killer. In preparing for this, I took a look, and it hasn't been my department for a while, but I took a look into our intercom data. And, for context, we have always really invested in customer service, and, we've got great people doing it, and they actually do, show up with a smile and interact with customers in a really authentic, thick way. And our customers have always really appreciated us for that, and specifically, called out individuals on our team an awful lot. And yet, one thing that it is impossible for the humans to do at the at the level that the AIs can do is the speed of response. So we typically respond in 2 minutes, which for a relatively small company with a small team is pretty good. And yet it's just enough time for the person to tab away and do something else. And then when they get our response, they tab back 5 minutes later. And the next thing you know, we're like 30 plus minutes to get to resolution, even with everybody being like attentive and doing a good job. And the AI's ability to just be there immediately is like, that's a pretty dominant advantage that we're not going to catch up to anytime soon.
It's true. I'll tell you a couple funny stories about that, though. If it's too fast, people don't think it really is going to give it the right answer, that it's probably like a pre-baked, crappy, automated macro answer. So if it's too fast, people don't quite trust it. And if it's too slow, but still way faster than a human, let's just say 20 seconds, people will be pissed off because it's like, hey, this is AI. And the reality of where the technology is today is that if you actually gave it a couple of minutes as opposed to require that it responds in seconds, which I have pressured my team a lot to make sure that it does, it can actually do a better job if you give it a little bit more time. We've seen that with the latest models that are really just the same foundational technology applied at runtime to just have the permission to think a little longer. So the response time thing is actually super nuanced, and it also relates to people's understanding and expectations of AI. The one thing I will say, though, is that despite, in some senses, my pessimism about how quickly the base models are going to improve, I do think that they will get just far faster and cheaper. And so as we build all these technologies together, we will be able to probably do the runtime stuff just quicker. We'll be able to provide that level of response just in the amount of time that people expect.